All right, guys, let's build the face frame for this nightstand, which would be, if we pop it back on there with the dimensions. Nope, that's the wrong ones. With those. That's what we're looking for. And I can put the face on here, makes it look more complete, and we'll throw the back panel on. But I think it's better without that routed top on it. So I'm going to turn that off so we can kind of see what we're doing a little better. And this is our final product. We're going to build those 3 rails and these 2 stiles on the sides. I'm just going to turn those off and then build them. Okay, so the 2 stiles on the sides, they need to be 2 3/4 is the width and 3/4 thick. So I'm just going to draw it on the ground and we'll pull it up. So it's about that size. And so I set it about where it should be. And then I look at the dimensions. It's got 2 3/8 listed first. So it's doing the long section first, which I want to be 2 3/4. So I'm going to do 2 3/4. And then I know it's 3/4 thick. So that is what I need. And I'm not sure why I just had that turn white. That's kind of weird. That's kind of new. But we'll just continue on. We're just going to pull that up with a push-pull. Shortcut P. Grab him, bring him up to the top, and click. And there we go. That's a really easy, quick style. And notice it's right flush on that inside edge, which is what we want. Okay, now I'm just going to take that guy, and I'm going to copy him. Actually, I'm going to make him a group first. Don't forget that. I'm going to make him a group. Now I'm going to copy him. We'll just move him to the other side. And since we're going to move him flush to that other edge, I'm going to grab the right side on the inside corner right here when I move it. I'm going to grab that because that's going to be what, and then the copy, that's going to be what connects easiest to finish it. And it's kind of hard to see that. I think that might be it. Let's look. It looks like it's flush, as far as I can tell. Usually you want to have it snap to. You don't want to just eyeball it. But right here at the top where I would snap that corner, there isn't a seam right at that edge. So that's where I kind of had to eyeball it. Now we've just got our 3 rails that go across in between the stiles. And I think it's easiest just to draw a rectangle on the edge and then pull it over. This top guy, if we look at, and I honestly don't remember, so I'm going to bring these back real quick. It's 3/4 in thickness. So we're going to draw a rectangle, and it's going to be 3/4 by 3/4. So I'm going to type that in. It's 3/4 thick, and it's 3/4 high. And we'll just pull that guy right across. And just go right to that edge flush, and there you go. He's done. Don't forget, triple click and group him. Now, we could just move and copy him, but since the other 2 are a different size, I figure it's probably just as easy to draw a new one, and then I'll just copy this guy. And I don't remember what his dimensions are off the top of my head, so let's look. You'd want to look at your assignment. I'm just looking here. And this mirror's in this little thing's in the way. Let's move it up there. Face frame dimensions, there we go. 1.5. So it needs to be 1.5. So let's make that. So start a rectangle right at the top of that shelf. And I'm going to do, again, I don't know which dimension is which, so I'm looking down in the corner. It's starting with 1 3/4 is the long dimension, so I want that to be my 1.5 by 3/4 for thickness. And we're done. There we go. Make a group out of that. Anytime you have these windows that pop up with those annoying messages, I just go start the line tool and pretend to start a line, and that gets rid of it. Okay, now I'm just going to move that guy. And because I'm moving it to be flush right at the top edge, I'm going to grab it on that top corner when I move it. this corner right here will make it really easy once I copy for it to snap to. It's why it's really helpful to do that. And as soon as I bring it up right here, it snaps right to, and it's right where I want it to be. And there you go. We've got our, let's turn those off. We've got our two styles. We've got our three rails. Okay. Let's go ahead and texture those because I don't like how they look. If you wanted to make them brightly colored like I did for whatever reason, you can, but you don't need to. That was just so I could highlight to you putting on the face frame and what it was. Now, let's add the cool flare or something on here other than just the rectangle. You're going to do that exactly like you do any other routed edge. So I'm just going to draw a little bit of an extra face on here. And I usually overdraw it so that I can connect that perfectly exactly, and then I can just erase off that little bit. And notice how it didn't fill in. I need one more line to connect this section. There you go. And so now you can just do whatever you want. Let's see. I think I'll do a start here and I'll do an arc. And you can do whatever you want here. I'm not sure why that's such a big arc. It's kind of annoying. Well, I'll figure it out on my own time. I'll just give you guys something right now to play around with. That's what I wanted it to do before. I don't know why it wasn't doing that. There we go. Sure, there we go. We'll go with that. Whatever you pick. Now notice right now it's just a face. So we're going to do a push-pull on this guy and push him out to that far edge. Now, if you start a push-pull and you notice that this is an open, it's not a sealed face. It's like an opening you've created, and it's got a gap there. Hit your Option key, okay, or your Control key, and mine kind of. I can't show it to you because it's not doing it on mine, but that will fill in that face. Okay, Option or Control once you start it, and it'll fill that in, and then you know what? Make that a group, and then you can just paint it the one time. There you go. Okay, that line I don't like, so there's a way we can fix that. And make sure everything else is grouped, and then you can take this style, you can right-click and explode it. You can take this one you just made, right-click and explode it. And now if you triple-click, or actually before we even do that, we can just erase the line in between them. And there you go. Triple click and make the whole thing a group. Now it's one solid piece together. There you go. And then instead of building that on the other side, which would be frankly more work than we want to do, let's just move this over. So we'll take this guy. We'll move it. And of course, when you move it, it's the wrong direction. So right click, there's multiple ways to do this. You can use move and look at it from the top with the little red crosshairs and rotate it. Or you can just say flip along. Did I not start class? Oh, dude. All right, I think we're back. We are rotating this around, and I turned some things on that I need to turn back off. There we go. So this guy, you can either right-click, and we can flip along. Let's move a little bit so we can see it. And that's not really helpful. That's correct. That's what we wanted. So now just move this guy right in. Let's take a look. And there we go. Now you just need to put on your 3D text. We've got style, and 6 inches is way too big. 1 inch height, that's 1 foot. We want about 3 inch. 3 inch height, 2 inch extrusions, probably plenty, guys. There you go. Now I just want to rotate that upward. So I'm going to, sometimes move doesn't give the little red pluses. I don't know why, but I go to the rotate instead, which is the Q shortcut. Click onto the front corner, click on the edge, and then you just pull it up. There you go. Now I'll move it to align it a little better with that edge. There we go. And you can size that if need be. Put one on each side. I think I'll move it down here. And now do the same thing for your rails. I bet you guys got the idea. Right there, I'm going to scale that down before I move it, and then they'll all be the right size. That looks good. Now notice here I didn't grab a corner, so it's really tough to get the right in and out that I want. So the way to fix that is to go grab that outside edge and pull it forward. Now it's sitting where I want it to sit. Do the same thing with this guy. And then grab and copy it to the top. Okay, that's the idea. You guys can, color those, size those as needed. Now we've just got dimensions. Okay, and remember the dimension tool works on corners. So I go click corner to corner, pull that out. There it is. Corner to corner, pull that out. There it is. I bet you've got the idea here. It even snaps too. Now for the top, same thing. Now notice here, if I get that, I'm starting a new one. If I get the crosshairs, it thinks I'm wanting to move the other one. So watch out to be starting a new one and not moving the other one if you're using the same corner. There you go. Another way to avoid that is just start on a different corner, and then it'll automatically start a new dimension. That's it. That's all there is to it, guys. And then at this point, you just want to dress it up. So if I'm looking to turn this in, I'm going to make sure these are all legible in my screenshot, like this guy right here. That's terrible. So I'm going to click on that guy, and I'm going to change it. I'm going to move the position so it's better. It's up above now, but now I can't read it because of the color. So I'm going to change it to something maybe brighter. Much better. Now I can actually see that it says 3/4. Everything else is legible. Everything is good to go. So right here is a perfect screenshot. It's big and full. I can read everything. We're done.